The rain had been falling non-stop since dawn, tapping against the cracked window like a reminder of everything Lina didn't have. She sat on the edge of her narrow bed in a tiny rented room, rocking her 6-month-old baby, Noah, whose weak cries cut straight through her heart. The last scoop of baby formula lay at the bottom of the tin, barely enough for one feeding. Lina's hands trembled as she checked her phone again. Her balance, 37 cents. She had lost her cafe job 2 weeks earlier when the owner shut down suddenly. Noah's father had disappeared long before the baby was born, blocking her number the moment she told him she was pregnant. Lina had no parents to turn to, just a quiet room, a hungry baby, and a growing fear she tried hard not to show. Earlier that day, an old coworker had sent her a number. "This is my cousin's boss. Sometimes he helps employees in emergencies. You can try asking, but don't expect anything." Lina hesitated for hours. Pride fought desperation. Desperation won. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard as tears blurred the screen. "Hello sir, I'm so sorry to disturb you. I don't know if this number is correct. I'm a single mother and my baby has no formula left. I just need a little money to buy milk. I swear I will return it. I'm desperate. Please forgive me." She pressed send, then realized something was wrong. The contact name updated automatically. Daniel Arman, CEO. Her breath caught. She had just texted the CEO of Arman Global, one of the most powerful companies in the country, a man whose name appeared in business magazines and TV interviews. Oh no, Lina whispered. She tried to delete the message. Too late. Panicking, she turned her phone face down, as if that could undo it. Embarrassment burned hotter than hunger. What if he reported her? What if he mocked her? Minutes passed. Noah's cries grew weaker. Then, ding, a reply. Lina's heart pounded as she turned the phone over with shaking hands. "Are you safe right now?" She stared at the screen, stunned. She typed back quickly. "Yes, sir, I'm safe. My baby is hungry." There was a pause. Then another message appeared. "Where are you?" Lina hesitated again. Telling a stranger, especially a powerful one, her location felt dangerous. But she had nothing left to lose. Riverside District, Oak Street. She hugged Noah close, whispering apologies into his hair. Another pause. Then, "Don't feed him anything else. Help is coming." Her eyes widened. Before she could reply, her phone rang. An unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Almost. "Hello." Her voice cracked. "Ms. Lina," a calm male voice said. "This is Daniel Arman." The name alone made her dizzy. I'm so sorry," she rushed. "I sent that message by mistake. Please don't be angry. I didn't mean to." "Please," he interrupted gently. "You have nothing to apologize for. How old is your baby?" 6 months, she whispered. There was silence on the line, heavy, thoughtful. "I lost my mother when I was 6 months old," Daniel said quietly. "I won't let another child go hungry if I can help." Tears streamed freely down Lina's face. "I've sent someone to you," he continued. "Food, formula, diapers. And a doctor will check the baby. Just open the door when they arrive." Her legs gave out, and she sank onto the bed. "Why are you doing this?" she sobbed. Daniel's voice softened even more. "Because one wrong message sometimes reaches the right person." As the call ended, Lina looked down at Noah, already calmer, as if he sensed hope had entered the room. But neither of them knew. This accidental text was only the beginning of a much bigger change. The knock on the door came softly at first, almost as if the person outside was afraid to disturb the fragile silence inside Lina's small room. She hesitated, clutching Noah closer to her chest. Her heart raced, fear and hope tangled tightly together. "Ms. Lina," a woman's voice called gently. "We're here from Mr. Arman." Lina swallowed hard and opened the door. Outside stood 3 people. A well-dressed man holding several grocery bags, a woman with a warm smile carrying a large box of baby supplies, and an older lady wearing a doctor's coat. The hallway light reflected off the clean packaging, formula, diapers, baby wipes, blankets. Things Lina had stared at helplessly in store windows just hours earlier. Her legs nearly gave way. "We came as fast as we could," the doctor said kindly, stepping inside. "May I see the baby?" Lina nodded, tears blurring her vision. Noah whimpered softly, his tiny face pale from hunger. The doctor examined him carefully, listening to his breathing, checking his weight. "He's dehydrated and underweight," she said gently, noticing Lina's panic. "But you did the right thing. He'll be okay." The assistant prepared the formula while Lina watched, barely breathing. When Noah finally latched onto the bottle, drinking greedily, a sound escaped Lina's throat, half sob, half prayer. For the first time in days, her baby was full. She sank onto the chair, covering her face as relief washed over her in waves. The shame, the fear, the endless guilt, all spilled out in silent tears. "You're a good mother," the doctor said softly. "Asking for help doesn't change that." That night, after everyone left and the room smelled faintly of clean linen and warm milk, Lina's phone buzzed again. Daniel Arman. Did he eat? Her fingers trembled as she replied. Lina. Yes. He finished the bottle and fell asleep. Thank you. I don't have words. A few seconds passed. Daniel. You don't need them. Just rest. Lina lay awake long after Noah drifted into deep sleep. For the first time in months, her chest didn't feel tight with panic. Yet a new fear crept in. What happens tomorrow? She didn't know that tomorrow had already been planned. A new beginning. The next morning, a black car waited outside her building. Lina almost didn't go. She stood at the window, staring down, convinced it was some kind of misunderstanding. People like Daniel Arman didn't change lives overnight. They donated to charities, smiled for cameras, and returned to their towers of glass and steel. But then her phone rang. It's me, Daniel said calmly. Please don't be afraid, I just want to talk. An hour later, Lina sat across from him in a quiet cafe near the river. She wore her only clean dress, Noah sleeping peacefully in her arms. Daniel Arman, the man whose face she'd seen on magazine covers, looked nothing like she imagined. No arrogance, no impatience, just tired eyes and a presence that felt human. I read your message again last night, he said after a pause. Do you know why I replied? Lina shook her head. Because my mother sent a message like that once, he said quietly. To the wrong number. No one answered. Lina's breath caught. She died when I was an infant, he continued. Not from hunger, but from exhaustion. She worked until her body gave up. People assume success makes you strong, but it mostly makes you aware of how many were left behind. Lina listened, tears silently sliding down her cheeks. I won't pretend I understand your pain, Daniel said. But I can help you stand again. Only if you want to. That day, Daniel arranged something Lina never imagined possible. A small, fully furnished apartment near a park. 6 months' rent paid in advance. A refrigerator stocked with food. Medical coverage for Noah, and weekly support from a childcare nurse. This isn't charity, Daniel said firmly when Lina tried to refuse. This is stability. Everyone deserves that, Lina accepted, with shaking hands and a grateful heart, standing on her own feet. Weeks turned into months. Noah gained weight quickly, his laughter filling the apartment with a sound Lina thought she might never hear again. His cheeks grew round, his eyes bright. Lina, too, began to change. Daniel discovered that before her pregnancy, she had studied office management but dropped out due to financial pressure. One evening, during a casual phone call, he made her an offer. There's a position open in one of our subsidiaries, he said. Remote work, flexible hours. Nothing fancy. Lina froze. I'm not qualified. You are, he replied simply. You just never had a chance to prove it. Her first paycheck made her cry harder than her first day of work. For the first time, she wasn't surviving, she was building. She worked late nights while Noah slept, determined to earn everything she received. Slowly, she paid back small amounts of what Daniel had spent, not because he asked, but because it mattered to her dignity. Daniel noticed. You don't have to do this, he told her. I know, Lina replied. But I want my son to see that help is a bridge, not a place to live forever. Daniel smiled at that. The truth comes out. One afternoon, while waiting in a grocery line, Lina overheard two women talking. Did you hear about the CEO who sent supplies to some random girl who texted him? One said mockingly. People will do anything for attention. Lina's hands tightened around her basket. She wanted to speak up. To explain the hunger, the fear, the sleepless nights, but she stayed silent. That evening, she told Daniel what she'd heard. Do you regret helping me? She asked quietly. Daniel's answer came without hesitation. No, he said, but I regret the world that made you afraid to ask. Days later, a foundation was announced quietly, no press conference, no headlines. The Wrong Number Initiative, emergency support for single parents in crisis. Daniel never put his name on it publicly. But Lina helped manage it. Years later, 5 years passed. Noah ran through the park laughing, chasing pigeons, his voice strong and clear. Lina watched him from a bench, her laptop beside her. She was no longer an assistant, she was a project manager now. Her life wasn't perfect, but it was hers. That evening, Noah climbed into her lap, holding her phone. "Mommy," he said seriously, "why do you smile when you read old messages?" Lina looked at the screen. The very first text she'd sent. The mistake. She kissed Noah's forehead, because one day, she said softly, "I was very scared." And someone answered when they didn't have to. Across the city, in a quiet office, Daniel Arman stared at the skyline. On his desk sat a framed screenshot of a simple message. "I just need money to buy baby formula." Not a reminder of pity, but of purpose. Because sometimes, the most important messages in life are the ones sent by mistake, and answered by heart.